Black jobs matter, especially in Hartford. I'm Mark Stewart Greenstein, sometimes known as Stewart for Hartford, and please recognize the import of other categories of Black life that are happening routinely to submerge Black life. Black jobs matter, and yet our legislatures and some city governments crush the ability for many African Americans to get more work. In many places, a lot of young Black men have made good money over the last couple years with innovative firms. They become their own bosses when they do DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, rent out their homes on Airbnb. But states and some municipalities do not like any of those endeavors. They put extra taxes. They try to run them out of town. Some towns still do not have these services. That's your government at work, suppressing your job opportunities. At the state level, in this state anyway, there are many good construction jobs to be had on state projects. Who does good construction? Very often, it's African Americans. They're often the first guys to be hired on a new crew. Talented, willing to work. Yet, what happens in state negotiations? They're the last to get work. The first ones are environmental study firms. Then there's feasibility studies. Then there's some engineering firms. Then we're back to government, and they have to approve or disapprove. Who are the beneficiaries there? It's not construction workers. It's firms, often big, often controlled by whites, that get the largest share of construction revenue. And meanwhile, good African American men are sidelined, not able to do work. Plus the whole public, which could benefit from transportation, is put on hold because of workings of government, the establishment that helps themselves, not you. Of late, government shut down some mobile hospitals and has curtailed the work of established hospitals. There's some necessary surgeries that didn't get done, some optional treatments that were not allowed to be performed. Some hospitals in this state have had to downsize. Not too much COVID going on and everything else getting smushed. Guess who occupies many of the jobs that are getting smushed? Phlebotomists, CNAs, physical therapists. In my life, and I've had to take care of two parents, the majority in those professions are Black and brown skinned. Yet, the government is commanding a lowered economy that affects Black and brown. Here's a solution. It's a society that stops being governed by government leaders, that we remove the power of government because too many bad people enter government. So if government is defanged and we don't let it do so many things, we, the people, flourish better. I don't believe the leaders in government are evil, but you know they are often incompetent, often uncaring. They don't read bills. They are certainly concerned about self and often concerned about their friends and patting them. And that's not you. Progressive leaders do not represent you. Now, to their great credit, African Americans in the southern U.S. recognize that really well this winter. They're the ones, and it was exclusively urban Blacks that jettisoned Bernie Sanders and his progressive ilk. You ended up with a more reasonable Joe Biden thanks to African Americans in Georgia and South Carolina and those primary states that had the wisdom to say, this progressivism is crap. Your progressive leaders in the Northeast need to hear that from more Blacks. I do believe that when Black conservatives, just mainstream, don't call yourself conservative, meld together, with an American voice and are not cowed and led by generally white goofball progressives, you will be better off. Our society will be better off. Most white progressives take blacks as tokens. Don't serve them. Serve yourselves. Let government be minimalized so that you can be extended to your fuller self. I'm Mark Stewart. Thanks for listening.